Many mistakes that people make are just timing mistakes, and there are two types of timing mistakes. You can either jump too early or you can wait too long. When it comes to making decisions or making changes in your life, most people make that second kind of mistake. They wait too long. Us humans are overthinkers. We're prone to loss aversion. Even if we have something that we don't really like a job or a relationship, we're more comfortable holding on to it than letting it go. What if the alternative is worse? What if the grass isn't greener? This is even true for physical stuff, like how many shirts do you have that you never wear but you just can't get rid of? In the nearly 40 years that I've been on this planet, I have made this timing mistake several times. So in this video, I want to share with you 6 things I wish I did sooner. Number 1, had children. My generation, the millennials, were always told that we didn't need to rush into getting married or having kids. This is different than the messaging that our boomer parents got. They married younger and had kids earlier in life. But many millennials decided to hold off, date around, find your soulmate, wait until you're financially and emotionally ready for children. I know many people who are still waiting into their mid and late 30s. I think Gen Z is probably getting the same messaging. Don't rush into these big decisions. I think this has gone too far. I think people are waiting too long and sometimes until it's too late. I had my first daughter at 36 years old, my second one at 38. So I'm kind of an older dad. When my youngest graduates from high school, I'll be 56. I'll be 60 when she finishes college, if college is still a thing. In hindsight, I think I could have started a family like 3 to 4 years earlier. It's not that I want more time to have more kids. We're done with 2 and very happy. It's not even that those childless years weren't fun. They just weren't totally necessary. And I think there are some benefits to having kids when you're slightly younger. You still have hopefully a healthy body that can meet the physical demands of raising babies and toddlers. But you're also not like a broke 20-something, hopefully you're a bit more established in your career and financially. My point is, if you know you want kids, don't wait too long. A lot of people, they have their first kid in their late 30s and then they realize that they want another one, but pregnancy and labor and delivery only becomes more complicated as you get older. So ask yourself, why are you waiting? If you don't have a great reason, maybe just get started. Number 2. Got fit. I played sports growing up, nothing too serious, just recreational soccer in middle school and high school. But through most of college and a lot of my early 20s, I didn't really exercise. I'm a naturally thin guy, so I never really looked out of shape, and this is a blessing and a curse because, the whole skinny fat thing. Of course, I joined gyms like most people. I tried lifting, I tried running and hated it. I could never stick with anything because I was doing it just for the results. I didn't actually enjoy the process. And then I found Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and even though my Jiu-Jitsu journey has had some fits and starts, it's something that I keep coming back to long term. Not because I want to stay in shape, just because I love learning and training and playing the game of jiu-jitsu. It's just so fun, and it also has a social component, kind of like spin or CrossFit. Staying fit is a byproduct of jiu-jitsu because it's actually pretty intense. I wish I found martial arts earlier. I wish I understood at a younger age that exercise for the sake of exercise isn't sustainable, at least for me. I have to enjoy the actual process in order to stick with it. So if you struggle to stick with the fitness routine, I encourage you to branch out beyond the typical stuff like weightlifting and running. Try something like martial arts or dance or yoga. Quit my first job and second one. I was pretty directionless when I graduated from college with a psychology degree. I got rejected from a few jobs, but I did get a couple offers. I chose the one that I thought was the best fit. It paid $38,000 a year. Despite getting along well with my coworkers, it was not the right job for me. I knew this. I felt it every day. I was insecure about my skill set and my demeanor with clients. I was a fish out of water. But I stayed there for over 3 years because I didn't know what else to do. The alternative, not having any income, was scary. What if I couldn't find another job? I eventually left that job to pursue an unsuccessful career in music. And even though that next chapter didn't work out, leaving that job was the right thing to do. I shouldn't have waited 3 years. It wasn't worth the meager savings that I was able to put away while living at home with my parents and working in a job that I just didn't enjoy and wasn't good at. Same thing happened with my second job, which I only took because my music career was flailing. I was burning through my savings, and I had a friend who knew about a job opening where he worked that was pretty cushy, and it paid $62,000 a year, which was more money than I had ever seen. I just couldn't turn it down. That job wasn't a good fit either, but I stayed for over 2 years because it just felt so good to have that income. It felt safe. I knew that it wasn't a step in the right direction. I knew that it was not what I was meant to do, but I was scared that if I went off on my own again, I would fail again. I did finally leave. I took a sabbatical. I went to South America for a few months, and during that time, I kind of kickstarted my journey as an online content creator. Looking back, I just wish I did that sooner. Left my first relationship. and second one. Before meeting my wife, I had a couple of long-term relationships, like in my college years and 20s. I knew these weren't forever, but like the INFPIM, I overstayed my welcome by several years. The first one, she broke up with me, and I'm glad she did because honestly, I don't know if I ever would have done it. I knew it was the right thing to do, but I just couldn't. You get used to being with somebody. Change is scary. You don't want to cause anybody pain. I think she knew that I couldn't end things, and she did it for me, and I'm so grateful that she did. The second one, I ended things, which is no less painful. But again, I had waited too long, causing unnecessary hardship and wasting her time. So my advice now, whenever I'm talking to somebody who's in a relationship that they're sort of questioning, is to go with their gut. You always kind of know the answer. You always kind of know what you're supposed to do. You know when you should break up, but you don't do it because of the pain. But you have to. It's really not fair to stay with somebody if you know that deep down, it's not forever. The healing and the moving on can't start until the relationship ends. Left my hometown. I was born in upstate New York, but spent most of my life in the Washington, D.C. area. I didn't stray too far for college, opting for the local state school about a half hour away from my parents' house. After college, I got a job in D.C. I moved back in with my parents for a while, and when I did move out, it was just to the other side of the county. I eventually bought a condo in downtown D.C. And I traveled a lot during this time, but I never left the D.C. area. When I did finally move to Tucson, Arizona with my then girlfriend, now wife, I realized how cool it is to live in different places. Moving is a total pain, but I'm so glad that I got to experience living in these cool cities like Tucson and Richmond and New York. I'm not saying everybody has to leave their hometown to be fulfilled. If you're happy where you are, just stay. But if you have an itch to explore, or if a certain city or state or country is calling to you, you have to listen to that voice. Trust your instincts and go, preferably sooner than later. If you don't leave now, you might get stuck. Last but not least, I wish I started a YouTube channel earlier. Granted, I'm an OG by today's standards, and it's never too late to start creating and publishing content. But it usually takes some time to get any traction, to figure out your voice and your style, to learn how to write and film and edit, and to get views and followers. For sure, there are some overnight successes, some viral hits, probably more so now than ever before. But if you look at the vast majority of people who are making a full-time living as content creators, or even people making decent side hustle income, they have one thing in common. They've been at it for a while. They've made a lot of videos. They've honed their craft, taken a lot of shots at goal, basically created opportunities to get lucky, to get noticed. If I had started just 2 or 3 years earlier, I'd probably have a larger audience and a larger business than I do now. The good news is this is always true. So if you're thinking it's too late, it's not. If you want to start now. Don't wait another year, because a year from now, you could have 1 full year of traction and experience under your belt. If you're interested in learning more about my process for creating videos, how I grew my main channel to just under 500,000 subscribers, and how I make money doing this, let me know down in the comments. If there's enough interest, maybe I'll host a webinar or make a little quick free course to kind of explain my business model and my process. But yeah, let me know. And that's it. And this video isn't meant to make anybody feel like they're behind or feel bad about what they're doing or not doing in their life. I'm more hoping that this video hopefully is motivational, especially for guys in their teens or 20s or early 30s. If there are things you want to experience, if there are changes you want to make, just go for it. Time is precious. Your life is precious. All right, that's it for now. I will see you in the next one.